This adventure finds us on our way to Linköping. As we leave southern Sweden, we head up to Vättern, one of the big lakes in Sweden. We find Brahehus, a house, almost castle, built in the 1600s. It was only occupied for a couple decades until it was abandoned, and then suffered a series of fires. But it's kind of fun. It's across the street from a major gas station where you can stop outside of Gränna, Sweden. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's a fun little place to stretch your legs and explore. There's some beautiful views of the Lake Vättern and the surrounding farm side. Exploring the castle in the drizzle and head back to the car. Just a quick little memory, this is the last time I was there. Things have quite changed since then. I found a wonderful companion to enjoy all sorts of travels with. And of course the girls stopped and got some candy.
Candy canes.
What's the name in Swedish?
Polka pig.
Polka gissar.
Polka gissar.
This area of Sweden is quite rich in history. Besides ruined castles, there's also some of the oldest known rune stones describing historical events in Sweden, as well as ruined abbeys and monasteries to be found along the shores of Lake Vättern. It's not just historical beauty, but there's also natural beauty in this area around the shores of Lake Vättern. Here we are hiking up Omberget, a mountain or hillside that is right along the lake. Beautiful hike through the forest. Only problem was the mosquitoes, but we made the most of it. Had a great, wonderful day out and a picnic at the end of the hike. At the top of Omberg, you can see for miles and miles and miles across the countryside. Beautiful, beautiful farmland, and of course, windmills, as well as incredible, incredible blue, crystal clear lakes. It was a beautiful day and a beautiful hike, but the time soon came for us to head home after a couple little looks back at Vättern. next day we were up early and exploring the town of Linköping, checking out some of the sights to be seen, with our local host family showing us around the town and the cathedral. The girls were having fun and connecting with Charlotte. She even offered to give them piggyback rides, which helped us to walk home. And of course, everyone was demanding fresh, sweetest strawberries from the market in town. So we headed to the center of town to grab some strawberries and then head back to the house for dinner and our nice rest at the house. The next day, we got up to explore Gamla Linköping, kind of like a mini Skansen, a mini folk museum that kind of replicates the old wooden city, or how it would have looked right around the turn of this century in the town of Linköping. And the girls are learning different folk ways, how to wash clothing, how people made things, the blacksmiths, things like that. But they got a good feel for what life was like at the turn of the century in Sweden. It's getting towards the heat of the day, so we went to a local swimming hole where we got to swim in a beautiful lake with some rocks and catch some sun and some fresh air before we headed back to the house in the evening for some fun. On the way back that night, we treated everybody to lösgodis, or self-picked candy. It's a very popular Swedish tradition. Here's a pretty typical spread in the local grocery store in Linköping. My friend and I headed to the center of town for a nice, well-deserved evening beer. As the sun set, we enjoyed a nice cold beer in the town square amongst many, many other inhabitants of the town. Linköping's famous for a couple things. One is aircraft manufacture, the other is engineering and university, which is a big medical school there too. But we got to go check out the Flygvapens Museum, or the Air Force Museum, to get a little lesson on Swedish aviation history. Of course, the day was not complete without Swedish pizza. There's a good old kebab pizza and a capricciosa. There was some Swedish pizza salad there. And of course, we're headed to Stockholm in the next segment of our adventure.